So let's go chop it up. As I've learned, dry aging is all really about looking after the fish. So this was bled, so we cut the gills or cut it through underneath the gills, bleed it out, gets rid of some of the blood bone, that dark flesh you'll see later on. Wash it, obviously scaling it, and then I get it on ice as soon as possible. You never want to have it hanging around in the juice and the fluid. It's all about getting it cool, stopping the breakdown, the bacterial effects as soon as possible. I was incredibly lucky to catch about 40 or 50 of these last week, but I only took about 15 actually, and I did all sorts of things to it, including dry aging. So this is a Kahawai in New Zealand, and in Australia they call it Australian salmon, which is kind of a bit of a farce, bit of a joke, because it's definitely not related to salmon at all. It's very plentiful around river mouths and most of the coastline around New Zealand. Incredibly underrated. It does have an interesting smell when you get it, and I noticed this is a 7-day dry age, and 7 days it definitely became less Kahawai-ish in smell, I would say. Filleting or filleting the fish, because it's dried out so much in the fridge, it's a little bit more forgiving in some ways. I was quite surprised. Normally there's a bunch of bones that run down the middle of the fillet, and they had kind of dissolved. I couldn't really find them or see them that easily, and that was quite fascinating. It was definitely improved the flavor, the smell, hanging it. I've tried now 5 days, 7 days, 8 days. I haven't gone to 10 days, which one chef I saw online recommended for this type of fish. But the interesting thing is that the stinkiness, it's sort of ammonia, kind of a little bit, maybe a little bit like shark, if you've ever caught shark or smelt shark. Had a little bit of that. Kahawai has that when it's fresh, but this didn't have any of that. I ate it raw, sashimi. I also just fried it up with, putting salt, pepper, bit of flour, and then oil and butter, just like you would a normal fish fillet. And that was delicious as well. It has a meaty texture to it, but the smell was like another fish that you catch around here called gurnard, which was it's one of my absolute favorite fish as well. So that was really, really interesting. Firm fish, and you can imagine, because it's lost a little bit of moisture, the meat, then it's going to be a little bit firmer on the whole as well. The Japanese, I know, are big fans of dry aging, very specifically and accurately. I would do it even if I didn't have a dry aging fridge, and just do it in a normal fridge. Probably go like 2 or 3 days in a non-reactive rack, because it's a bit harder to hang up. But you could probably just poke a stick or a bit of skewer in between the fillets and the belly, just to keep it open. And I might actually even try that and do another video on that one as well. Flavor, it's definitely very clean, and with that little bit of soy sauce or wasabi, it can definitely, I think it rivals tuna in some regards. Tuna of the lean kind, not of the fatty kind.